Hello, this is another video in the series of videos about question formation in the language. This time we have echo, checking, and follow-up questions. Let's see what they are. In spoken English, we use echo questions to repeat part of the things that we have just heard when we need like confirmation or clarification because we have not understood perfectly well. Like in a mini dialogue between A and B. A says, "Did you hear Peter's giving up his job?" And the other says, "Pete's giving up his job." So repeating, that's why they are called echo questions. It's just that, basically. They are often statements or declaratives with a WH word at the end. Also, they might appear like this. Let's have a look at the dialogue. A could say, "His name is Tokosani." And B, "His name is what?" Okay, so that's very typical in the language. Sounds easy, but probably you had never heard it's an echo question. Sometimes we speak to ourselves, or we ask questions to ourselves because we're trying to remember specific information, or we are not so sure again, so we are trying to confirm. So we've got sometimes trying to remember or showing uncertainty. So you are speaking, no? Like there's a great new restaurant on that street and you want to say the name, but you don't remember. So say, what was it called? Marcos, I think. Or you're looking for confirmation. For example, Fiona is coming to stay in June. When is it? The last weekend in June? Yeah, I think that's right. So this is like an embedded question, like something that we use within what we are saying and also trying to confirm or clarify. And like a follow-up question, this is another type of short question where what we do is asking something that somebody else has just said. Again, as you can see, like the pattern is clarification, confirmation. So there are a number of types of questions like this. We have the reduced WH questions in conversations because the speaker and the listener know the context, so it's not necessary to mention the whole context. Like, for example, I need to go to the shop. What for? So the full form would have been, what are you going to the shop for? But it's not necessary to add all that, okay? So the other person just says, we need bread and milk. And another option would be, I'm going out tonight. Who with? Coming from, who are you going out with? Oh, just some friends. So what this is called reduced because it doesn't have all the previous, all the words that originally were inside the questions. So the follow-up questions are used also when we are listening and we want to show we are interested or surprised. They do not really need any response many times. But you can use like some responses if you want. And these are like, really? Okay, yeah. So they are just like reply questions or follow-up questions, just some things we say to fill the space in the conversation and to show that we are following what the person is saying. And also, the follow-up questions are formed using the auxiliary or the modal verb contained in the statements. And if there is no auxiliary or no modal, we use do. Like this is very similar to the question tags. Look, I left school when I was 14. Did you? Really? So in this case, as you can see, the follow-up question has to do or is connected grammatically with a previous sentence, using the same auxiliary and the same tense. Carla's decided to move to Spain, has she? I can't watch horror movies, can't you? You see, there's a pattern there. Okay, so recapping, we have as eco questions, the questions that are like repeat essentially and basically what the other person said. We have the embedded questions, like when you are asking yourself, like what was the name, that you can't remember something. Then we've got the follow-up questions that are within a context, like we say, I'm going to the shop, and the other says what for or who with. And finally, these follow-up questions that are for confirmation or to show that you are following the conversation. The structure is the same pattern as before, or just really, okay? Well, so I hope you have understood more about questions today, and well, leave us some comments if you want, and follow us. Thank you very much. See ya.